Are the cameras on?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't just for starters, why don't we say your Trace, let's use your first name and you're with.
I'm Tracey Garcher, and I'm the Executive Director for the Mesa County Department of Human Services.
Okay, great. So tell me about, how do you personally work with Hilltop?
I personally work with Hilltop on a number of different levels. Over the past 15 years that I've been with the county, I've worked with Hilltop from program design to leadership to really trying to figure out specific issues for clients that involve a number of different agencies and those partnerships in the community and across the state.
And what do the Hilltop programs mean to the county as far as their ability to do what they do?
Right. Hilltop programs serve a very vital function to Mesa County. So not only the Department of Human Services, but I would say Mesa County in general. We simply do not have the funding or the ability to address a number of the issues that this county is faced with when it comes to helping people really address the problems they're faced with, whether it is funding or permission. What Hilltop does is really provides a very visionary, a very selfless approach to providing those needs and filling those gaps without the constraints that come with a lot of our funding or our permissions as a Department of Human Services. And what is beneficial is by partnering with the resources we have, partnering with the resources with Hilltop that we don't have, provides probably the most full menu of services that we can possibly come up with to help folks from protection issues to self-sufficiency issues.
That's great. You're right. You do talk well. What about the human angle? What have you personally seen about those individuals are utilizing Hilltop services?
The human angle is an interesting question for me. I don't have the opportunity to work directly with individuals on a daily basis, and I don't know if I'm strong enough personally to do the work that's done on an individual basis every single day with the variety of folks that do receive services either from Mesa County or from Hilltop or a combination of both. What I see is that there is a mission-driven concept that comes from Hilltop to try to not let the fiscal constraints, policy constraints, political constraints to keep us as a county from serving people. And so I think what I see is probably the most genuine, uninhibited attempt, most of the time very, very successful in providing services to families that need it. I definitely recognize the need out there, and so from the human perspective, I see folks that aren't judged, they aren't met where they're at, they aren't thrown into a lot of buckets and categorized. They're just simply met where they're at, and services are provided to them. I think with some hope and expectation that they take advantage of it. That's what I see from the human side of our partnership and the services that we provide together.
It's brilliant. What do you think Hilltop's greatest strength is as an organization?
Okay, think about this.
That's okay.
I think that one of Hilltop's greatest strengths as an organization is the acknowledgement that folks do have struggles and challenges in their lives. that folks typically don't choose to have those struggles and challenges in their lives. And again, they do not judge folks for where they're at, but work very, very hard to provide services to help them get to a different place. And I feel that operating mantra, if you will, permeates through every level that I've ever worked with at Hilltop.
So speaking of which, I know from a Hilltop standpoint, we always refer to our community partnerships, and of course the county is a huge one. How do you feel about the partnership with Hilltop?
I think it is extraordinary.
What's extraordinary?
Okay.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
sorry,
You're
sorry.
good.
So run it by me again.
So,
Question.
yeah. So how do you feel from your standpoint about the partnership with Hilltop?
Okay. I feel that the Department of Human Services partnership with Hilltop is extraordinary. From the time I started working with the Department of Human Services, Hilltop has been a part of doing that business. Whether it is in a relationship through the Workforce Center, which is not only programmatic, but it's also in a facility owned by Hilltop that's got all the complexities that go with that. From trying to blend and braid funding, from trying to challenge the community on issues that our community does not like to talk about, domestic violence, very current big issue in our community right now that I believe Mike Stahl stood up and didn't run from. That is the type of partnership that I think is tremendous. I think it's unique, and throughout it all, I would say that Mike and I value the partnership, not for ourselves, but for this community and what we're both trying to do to serve our community. It's not about us. It's not about Mike. It's not about Hilltop. It's not about the Department of Human Services. It's about the folks who need help, and that is extraordinary.
Honestly, I mean, everything you're saying I can use. I mean, we've got a great interview. Is there anything you want to say about Hilltop or anything we haven't covered?
Yeah, I think that I've got one other thing that I'll share.
Sure.
So in addition to the selfless partnering that I've been able to experience and very much appreciate over the years from helping clients, helping folks in our community, one thing that Hilltop has helped me and my organization with is on a professional growth level. We have partnered with Hilltop on a number of different leadership activities. I ran my folks through ropes courses, participated in coaching, had many discussions with Mike and Will and other leadership staff for me to grow professionally so that I can continue to I think uphold those partnering expectations that Hilltop has. So for me, where I sit, I've enjoyed the benefit of Hilltop's partnering on many different levels, and one of those not just being how to serve clients, but also Hilltop in a how do they serve the leadership of the community role. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for us to embrace humanity and understand what our roles as community human service type organizations have to the people in this county and community.
That's real good. All right, so let's think about what we can do for your what if. So I mean, it's a general thing about Hilltop,
Okay.
but I do want it to sort of fit,
Okay.
within something you'd be comfortable saying from your viewpoint. So I mean, something along the lines of, you're a little different because you're not a client. So I might.
So
I might
talk to me a
even-
little bit more about the what if part.
So examples of what we use for other programs.
Okay.
So what if the person you love was hurting you for Latimer House? What if what if you had to overcome a lifetime of abuse to have, a future, RYS, that type of thing.
Okay.
So, but I mean, you could almost do a broad statement about what if you couldn't find all the services you need in your own community. Of course, then that kind of downplays.
What if services weren't available?
What if the services you needed weren't available?
I think that ties more in. I mean, if this is a United Way campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of from the standpoint of if you're trying, you said you were going to use this for different things.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess particular to the United Way campaign, what if services were not available to
Mhm.
you in a time of need?
Mm-hmm.
You could, that's the reason I think why we're trying to get folks to contribute to United Way.
So I think you're in the best position to do a broad statement like that.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're comfortable, we'll do a couple different takes, say it different ways, whatever feels
Okay.
right to you. But,
Okay.
yeah.
So you want me to say that and then what?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll just pause a few seconds in between. You could do another take, and just and a little bit maybe emphasis on what if, because everyone's going to be saying what if. Yeah.
what if the services you needed in a time of need were not available to you in Mesa County?
Right. Do it again and try not to say need twice.
I know.
Yeah.
I
That's
know.
okay. That's okay. You're okay.
So what's a different word for
Yeah.
needed?
So you can do it as short as, what if the services you needed weren't available, or you can do
Okay.
stretch it out.
Okay. Okay. What if the services you needed were not available in Mesa County?
Mm-hmm.
Do it again?
Yeah, do it again. I'm gonna keep doing it. Yeah.
All right. So if there's a bloopers tape.
The problem that was last year. We'll see. We haven't started even filming the fun stuff
Yeah.
yet.
Okay, so what if the services you needed were not available in Mesa County?
Mhm. Try one, maybe just what if the service you need weren't available? Because Hilltop
Okay.
does 4 counties,
Okay.
so try one
Okay.
without Mesa.
Okay, gotcha. What if the services you needed were not available?
And maybe try one, what if the service you needed weren't available in your community?
Okay.
Yeah,
What if the services you needed were not available in your community?
Can we flip it too and say, what if the services were more readily available? Or is there a way to put a positive spin on it? That's why I'm the videographer.
No, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But I don't know that it works. We can come back
Do you
to
have any
it.
takes? Susan?
If something sticks, we can come back to it.
Something's grabbing me.
I think we're good. Are you good? Dorsey,
Oh,
everything?
I'm great with the video.
Good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're good, I'm good.
No, hell, that was easy, man. I thought you were
make it
gonna
easy.
ask me all
Grill
kinds
you.
of stuff.
You're like a rock
Tell
star
me
in front
about
of
the
the
fiscal
camera.
spending for 2014, and where's the allocations going?
I was ready.
No, I didn't